Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Noah Unleashed. If you're new here, hi. I'm Melball, and I like watching Japanese wrestling. And this is Noah Unleashed, a weekly news and review show where I talk about my favorite Japanese wrestling company, Pro Wrestling Noah. If you're not new here, welcome back to the glorious, glorious chaos that is your Melball. She's tired. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. I've been up for a good hot minute. I woke up early this morning, 3:15 a.m. to make sure I could watch this show, night number 6, September 17th. I'm tired, you guys. I'm tired, but we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it because we are talking the N1 and things are happening. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of this tournament, and I am starting to have the feelings. I'm starting to get excited and maybe a little overexcited. So before we get into how overexcited I am, though, I need you guys to like the video, subscribe to OLE, and turn on notifications to be alerted every time we drop a new video. So without further ado, let's get into the show. We are talking night 6 of the N1 Victory Tournament Series, September 17th. I'm so tired. Okay, match number 1 was a tag team match featuring Kenoh and Junta Miyawaki taking on Yuto Kikuchi and Black Mensore. Can probably already guess where this is going. So we're gonna start off this night fast, fun, exciting. Yuto Kikuchi is in the building, you guys. You can't not be Jonatsu when Yuto Kikuchi is in the building. Tope Come Hilo by Kikuchi on Miyawaki and Mensore coming in looking like he was gonna die, but he don't. He don't. Kenoh comes in and bonks him on the head for wasting time. Mensore having a fun little goofy moment with Kenoh doing push-ups before trying to do the Za strike, but Kenoh blocks it. I know, shocking. Who blocks the Za strike? Mensore being tossed off the rope walk and Miyawaki hitting a drop kick and a second rope plancha to Kikuchi on the outside. The finish comes with Kenoh reversing the Za strike into the face of Mensore and then hitting a nasty PK. For the win. I didn't think that Mensore was going to be picking up the loss in this one, but it was still a fun little goofy thing to kind of kick off the night in a serious, not so serious kind of way, because you had Kenoh, but Kenoh can really wrestle kind of any kind of style and make it very enjoyable. We saw backstage later after when comments were being made, we see Kikuchi get onto the microphone and he is attacked by Tadasuke, who then issues the challenge to Yohei for leaving his team vulnerable, which it's hard to argue with the point there because Kikuchi has kind of been that one guy who's kind of always been like, let's go team, despite all the chaos that has been happening within the Passion Retells. You know, he was already a part of Retells. Tadasuke used to be his partner. Tadasuke abandoned the team. Then Hayata abandoned the team. Then Hey Yohei broke his face. So he's not been around. Inaba and Soya are distracted with the N1. Huxley's back in the UK. Kikuchi's kind of on his own. Kind of left vulnerable by his team. Hopefully that doesn't sour him because I like seeing him in Pro Wrestling Noah. So I suspect, I haven't seen an official announcement yet, but I will keep you guys posted. The challenge has been laid. Tadasuke to Yohei. I'd like to see it. But I also might be biased on both those guys because they're so good. Anyway, we're going to move on. Match number 2. It's a Block A match featuring Manabu Soya taking on Daga with Yoshitatsu. So, I don't think I made my picks for... Oh, I did. Never mind. So, okay, match number 2. Daga opens up with a drop kick and then a pin attempt and then catching Soya in a bear hug. briefly, which was freaking cool. Like, it was not so long ago that Daga wasn't hanging with the heavyweights, and now you mean to tell me he could have done it all along? Why hasn't he been here sooner? I'm loving it though. Lope and Tope suicida by Daga onto Soya, who then distracts the ref so Tatsu on the outside. Daga matching the power of Soya, not just in this match, but this whole tournament. He has been really turning up that power factor, just adding to the list of just credentials that he has. Really smartly targeting the arms of Soya also. He's had that kind of perpetual problem with the elbow, which Masaki Miya also kind of exploited in their match together. Soya coming back, hitting his bulldog and that neckbreaker stunner he does. Brainbuster by Daga on Soya looked really, really good. Frankensteiner by Daga for 2, but Soya comes back with a spear. Tatsu grabbing the leg of Soya and then Daga going for a pin but only getting a 2. Death Valley Driver by Soya, followed by that Tornado DDT, but Daga is able to fight back. So the finish comes with a Soya locking on a Dragon Sleeper and then dragging Daga back to the center of the ring when he's slowly working his way towards the ropes, forcing Daga to submit to the standing Dragon Sleeper. Interesting way to end the match. Very, very fun match, though. An interesting match of power to have it ending in a submission. That was very, very fun. Very, very fun way to kind of kick off the block matches tonight. From here, we're going to go into match number 3, which was a block B match featuring Daiki Inaba taking on Ricky Knight Jr. So Inaba doing his Jonitsu, as he does, giving a big body splash in between his Jonitsus, because that's what he does. The backdrop to the apron by Knight for 2, followed by some solid chops on the rope. A Death Valley Driver, a dropkick, and a low-angle dropkick in the corner, followed by a Dream Killer, all by Ricky Knight Jr. for 2. Knight going for that styles clash, but Inaba is able to fight back and hits that spear and cannonball in the corner. He then goes for that spring load spear, but Knight is able to avoid and then finally nails that styles clash. Inaba, though, goes back for that spring load spear and nails it. That's a very interesting spear. Not something that I've ever really seen before. And though it might look a little odd when he's waiting for someone to get to their feet, very effective when he's launching perfectly from that buckle. So top rope Frankensteiner, followed by a 450 splash by Knight, but he only gets a 2. The finish comes, though, with Knight hitting that reverse pile driver, which I believe I heard commentary say was the good Knight driver, for the win over Daiki Inaba. This was great. This was phenomenal. Ricky Knight Jr. really does have that uncanny ability to get into the ring with anybody and wrestle so good. Like, every match he's had has been just so consistently top quality, just like Daga. It's so good. So good. So impressive. So from here, we're going to go to match number 4, which is another Block B match featuring Naomichi Marufuji taking on Harutoki. You know, I'm going to say it. I love Harutoki's music. If you don't know it, I think it's called Vivir Mi Vida by Mark Anthony. I love it. Gives me energy even at 3:30 in the morning. After a brief back and forth, though, Harutoki hits a big drop kick and a diving crossbody on Marufuji. Marufuji hip drops Harutoki. Marufuji hits a big kick that drops Harutoki, and he gets a 2. Step-up kicks in the corner by Harutoki. I think those shibidaba Chibabop, chibabop. I have to talk to Walker. I have to message Walker and ask him what those are. Anyway, the big kicks in the corner by Harutoki, followed by I heard Rampage Driver on commentary. 4-2. There was an arm drag driver by Harutoki. 4-2. There was an abdominal stretch reversed by Marufuji, and then some back and forth kicks. The finish comes, though, with a Shinanui by Marufuji for the big win and 2 points going into the tournament. Harutoki has impressed me immensely. He's always been someone who's been on my radar for his wrestling. But this tournament, it's like getting that official signing to Noah has just turned up that fire and has just got him going in such a way that is so good, so top tier, so professional. I love it. So, going to match number 5 here. This is a tag team match featuring GHC Junior Champion Hiromu Takahashi and AMAKUSA taking on the team of Eita and Daiki Odashima. So, I noticed Junta was at ringside. Pretty easy. It's hard to miss him. He hasn't really been at ringside too much for the N1 unless he's kind of needed. And when I say that, it's usually where Hiromu Takahashi is concerned, and I wouldn't have it any other way because he's so good and he deserves to be in that contention. So, getting into the match here, Takahashi taunting Odashima with the title at the beginning. Should know by now, Mr. Takahashi, that's not so smart. Odashima's pretty good. So, high speed start with Takahashi and Eita, though, with Odashima coming in for the assist on the beat down while AMAKUSA just kind of looks on. Good teamwork. Shotgun dropkick by Takahashi on Odashima looked really, really good. The arm wrench and toss into the corner by AMAKUSA on Odashima also looked really good. Single leg crab on Odashima by AMAKUSA, but he is able to make it to the ropes despite the hair pulling by AMAKUSA as well. Very odd. Odashima drop kicking AMAKUSA out of the sky when he goes for his own jump. Chops between Takahashi and Eita just drops Eita. But he is able to come back with a roll-through PK on the champion. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Takahashi on Eita. There was a double crossbody by Odashima onto AMAKUSA and Takahashi, followed by a gut wrench on Takahashi for 2. Odashima so freaking fast. I swear to goodness, the speed of this man needs to be studied. It's so... How you blink and you miss him. It's crazy how fast he is. And he hits an exploder on Takahashi, but Takahashi gets freaking mad and then catches him in a Boston Crab, but Eita is able to make a save. So the finish comes with Takahashi hitting the time bomb and a really good looking one too on Odashima for the win. And chaos. Glorious, glorious chaos ensues. Junta in the ring. He's pissed. AMAKUSA just kind of there. Eita's pissed. Odashima's pissed. Everyone's yelling. It sounds like Takahashi is going to be willing to give Junta Miyawaki an opportunity given the results of what's... That was interesting. Where'd that bug come from? Anyway, I lost my train of thought there. Junta. It looks like Takahashi is wanting to give Miyawaki an opportunity. I don't know when it's going to happen. But I will let you guys know. If I get off of here and see a post about it, I'll leave the match card in there. Otherwise, stay tuned for the announcement on that. So, Moving on, we're going to go to match number 6, which is a Block B match between Galeno and Jack Morris. And this was my pick for Block B match of the night because holy shiznit. This was so good. Okay, Galeno giving Morris a very non-sassy clean break. Very interesting. Usually we get the sass. We'll get the back roll. We'll get a neck snap. We'll get a tickety. No, just clean break. Backing off just nicely. It was great. Fantastic. There was a pop-up into a lariat and senton combo by Galeno. Morris hitting the neck snap taunt back at Galeno and then hitting several kicks. But Galeno puts a stop to that pretty quickly. Forearms rock Morris, but he hits a jumping knee and Falcon Arrow for 2. There was a big frog splash by Morris for 2. The reverse brainbuster by Galeno for 2. At least that's what I heard from the commentary. I believe it's Code Red, done by Morris on Galeno for 2. An avalanche brainbuster by Galeno for 2. Okay, let's get into the finish, you guys, because there's a big long sentence for this one. The finish comes with a pair of tope suicidas by Morris, followed by a top rope plancha over the barricade. Not even just over the ropes, over the barricade, which was mental. The ref starts the count. Both men are down. Both men are injured, struggling to get over the barricade. And once they've gotten over the barricade, they're stumbling over each other. They can't quite make it back to the rope or to the ring. And both of these guys come to a draw. And both Galeno and Morris are awarded 1 point for the draw. I would have loved a definitive winner, but I'm not mad about this. Because if we'd given Galeno 2 more points right now, we would have some chaos going for Block B. I feel like this was the perfect way to kind of end this. But that being said, let's hope against hopes that there doesn't need to be a tiebreaker or anything coming into the final of this. Alrighty, so going into match number 7, which was Block A match between Kenta and Ulka Sasaki. So this felt like a sparring match. It just was so enjoyable. It was very much a strike happy, kick happy, very. It was almost more of a fight than a wrestling match, but I would say a subdued fight because they were knocking the crap out of each other, just not in the same way that you would see in a straight up fight. At one point, Sasaki locking on a Buddha lock on Kenta, and I was like, hey, I recognize that. Kicks to the sleeved leg of Kenta and the inner thigh, too, of all things, with Sasaki, and very stiff kicks also. But Kenta hits a snap body slam, which we love. I think I couldn't tell from the angle, but it looked like Sasaki at one point put on a calf crusher. It was either a calf crusher or a knee lock. I couldn't really tell. Again, the angle was a little weird. They only had a hard cam for this night, so not entirely sure. Dream Killer, though, by Kenta on Sasaki, which is that assisted DDT. John Woo in the corner by Kenta, followed by the double stomp for 2. Finish comes. The GTS is reversed into an armbar, which Sasaki's so amazing with those transitions, and then transitions into an ankle lock, which Sasaki sinks in really deep. But when he goes to drag Kenta back to the middle of the ring, because Kenta's getting pretty close to the ropes, Kenta capitalizes. He rolls him up, and he steals a win. He steals that win. He steals that win and steals that 2 points, and Sasaki is shocked. But hey, That's why he's the champion. He's a smart wrestler, and he took that opportunity to get those 2 points. I was a little mad at first, but you gotta respect the grind. So, going from here, we're going into match number 8, Block A, Kaito Kiyomiya versus Tetsuya Endo, and this is my Block A pick of the night because this was so good. The pace of this match, so good. So freaking good. But before the match got underway, Endo doing cleanup duty, kicking the ever-shedding jacket feathers of Kaito Kiyomiya out of the ring. Again, I mentioned Kiyomiya. He bruises like a peach, but seems to be healing just as quickly, not showing any of those bruises that he was showing from that last match against Fujita. Quick start and with both these guys, and again, I love the pacing of both of these guys. There was a head scissors by Endo, but Kiyomiya tries to headstand out of. But when Endo, when he gets into that fully erect position, Endo kind of bounces his legs up, giving him what I called like a micro pile drive. It was very interesting, very creative, very spur of the moment, very, what's the word? Ingenious? We'll go with ingenious. Springboard forearm from Endo. We also had a Shining Wizard by Kiyomiya, but Endo hits his, I believe, a Power Breaker, which is that Power Bomb backbreaker, followed by a Canadian Destroyer, but Kiyomiya hits one of his own. Both men are down. After a little bit of time, they both kip back up effortlessly because these guys are so insanely talented. Shining Lancer for 2 by Kiyomiya, and an Avalanche Exploder by Endo for 2, followed by that running knee, which I believe he calls the Godly Knee in the corner. The finish comes with Kiyomiya hitting a Tiger Suplex, then a Tiger Driver, and then that Skywalk Elbow for the win and 2 points over Tetsuya Endo. This was a dominant match for both these guys. There was several points in the match where I wasn't quite sure where this was going to end, and even when it came to an end, I wasn't expecting it. I was actually kind of expecting an Endo win out of this one. I'm not mad about it, though, because Kiyomiya does need some of the help getting back into the crowd's good books. The crowd's already very solidly behind Tetsuya Endo, especially face Tetsuya Endo. Now, I'm a little biased. I kind of liked Team 2000X heel Endo. But if you team him with the right people, we might still be able to get some of that out. Hayata. Anyway, going into the points at the end of tonight, and that's going to be currently the standings. In Block A, we have Kazuyuki Fujita still standing at the top with 8 points, but we have Masa Kitamiya, Kaito Kiyomiya, Tetsuya Endo, and Kenta all sitting with 6. We have Manabu Soya with 4, and then we have Daga and Ulka Sasaki with 2. For Block B, we have Jack Morris sitting on top of there with 11 points. We have Galeno sitting there with 9. We have Ricky Knight Jr., Naomichi Marufuji with 8. Kenoh with 6, and then Daiki Inaba and Harutoki with 2, and Ozawa again, unfortunately, with 0. For the next show happening September 20th, which is going to be an exhausting freaking day for me, Block A, we got Kaito Kiyomiya taking on Manabu Soya. We have Kenta taking on Kazuyuki Fujita. We have Ulka Sasaki taking on Daga. And we have Tetsuya Endo taking on Masa Kitamiya. For Block B, we have Galeno taking on Naomichi Marufuji. And we have Kenoh taking on Harutoki. You guys, that brings us to the end of this episode. I'm very happy that I've been able to keep these under 30 minutes for you because I can't imagine how annoying it would be to listen to me prattle on about, about the wrestling that I love. That being said, are you guys keeping up with the N1? Who are you rooting for and how are they doing? Let me know in the comments down below. That being said, you guys, if you want to watch Pro Wrestling Noah, I will leave the link in the description box below. It is Wrestle Universe, 1,298 yen, 13 Canadian, 9 pounds if you're UKan. We'll go with that. A phenomenal price to watch some amazing wrestling because not only do you get access to Pro Wrestling Noah, you get access to DDT, you get access to Marigold, Tokyo Joshi Pro, and so many more. There's 10 companies now for you to check out. So make sure you go check that out. Again, the link is in the description box there. Make sure you also go check out Pro Wrestling Noah's YouTube channels. There is an English and Japanese one. There is not as much content on the English one as there is in the Japanese one, but the Japanese one is still very enjoyable to watch. And if you're wanting a daily dose of your Melball, you can catch me on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can catch me on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Blue Sky at Melball Collins. Whew. That being said, you guys, I am your Melball. Matinee.